Hello and welcome back to Mr. Adelman's fantastic math class. Today we're going to talk about the midpoint. We have two examples for us. First one is fairly easy. It's the midpoint on a number line. Second one is a little more complicated, but not too bad. Then that's the midpoint on a coordinate plane. So let's tackle the easier one first, and it's going to help us with the second one. What we need to do is find the midpoint between 2 points and just on a number line. So we have a point x here, and we have a point y here. This one's at 8, x is at -4. And so they give us a little formula that says the midpoint on a number line is just a plus b divided by 2. And this would be our a value here, and this would be our b value there. And so then I put the points that we have there. Our a is our x, and our y, our b is our y, capital Y. And so now we're just going to plug in those numbers that are there. So for us, our x value is -4, and our y value is a +8. And so I'm just going to add those together, and then we divide those by 2. Basically what you'll find out is the midpoint is the average of the 2 points. That's how I sort of think of it. Just add up the values you have and divide by the number of points you have. We have 2 values, we divide by 2. So -4 plus 8 is a +4. And 4 divided by 2, of course, is 2. So our midpoint, and we can call this M, is going to be right here at 2. And you can check, because to go from 2 to 8, that is +6 units. And to go from 2 to -4, that is -6. So what you should have is the absolute value should be the same going up or down. So I find that to be fairly easy. Let's take a look at what is sort of troubling for most students, but is actually not too bad at all if you take it step by step. Let's find the midpoint on a coordinate plane. So we have 2 points that we're looking for. Point D, which is at -4, -3, so I'm going to go, and the x value is -4, and then down 3, so right about there, that's my D value. And point C is at 8, 5, so I'm going to go over 8, and then I'm going to go up 5. That's my C value. And so I want to, if I was to draw a line here, I want to know where the middle of that line is. And so we have a formula which is called the midpoint formula. This is actually a really easy formula, although it does look a little different than most formulas we see. But hopefully I can explain it to you here. So what we have is the midpoint, which would be point M. And then we actually, the reason that this is tricky is because it's sort of 2 formulas in one. We have our first part is our x values. And then our second part here is our y values. And if you can keep those separated, you're going to be in pretty good shape. So we're going to find our x coordinate first, or our x values. So M is going to be x1, and so of course we need to decide what are our x1 and y1 and x2 and y2. So this is our first point, so we'll call this x1. That looks like an x. We'll call this x2. So this would be, nope, that's x1. This is x2, and that is y2. So I'm going to plug in my x values first. And so as you'll see, what's going to happen is, what we're going to do is just going to take the average of the x values, and then we're going to go back over here and take the average of the y values. So x1 is -4 plus 8. We're going to divide that by 2. And so you know what? I'm going to finish doing our x values. So -4 plus 8 is 4. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. So I just did the x values. You don't have to do it in that way. You can do it all across. That's fine. So let's find our second coordinate, second part of the ordered pair. So y1 is negative 3. I'm going to add 5 to that. And I'm going to divide that by 2. Close my ordered pair. And then negative 3 plus 5 is a positive 2 divided by 2. And 2 divided by 2 is a positive 1. So that tells us that our ordered pair is at the point 2, positive 1. So if we go back to our coordinate plane, if I go over 2 and up 1, that would be at point M. And that's going to be the same distance from M to C as it is from M to D. And so just to reiterate, what I've done here is I've taken my two x values, added those together and divided by 2, and then I've taken my two y values, I added those together and divided by 2, and that gives me my midpoint. So that's all we have today for midpoint. Hopefully that was informative. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me either in person or on my blog. Thank you very much. Have a great day.